I've talked to Lee extensively. I've extended my support to him just as I have to everybody who's been my successor. I think he's a very level-headed guy who seems to want to do a good job. And I think if the boards have confidence in him, then maybe that'll reduce the chaos.
I do think, Lee certainly, has governance experience. He understands the enterprise. He understands the state budget. He's a public servant to his core. I too have a lot of respect for him and have offered any help I can give. So I wouldn't rule out a hand, somebody like Lee Roberts, being successful. I think he can be, and I think I hope he will be.
I would speak to this question, Holden, as someone who did not come up through the academic ranks,
Right.
And who probably wasn't even that good a student. But I had some experience having served on the Davidson College Board of Trustees and the UNCG Board of Trustees and 2 or 3 boards of visitors and that sort of thing. So I had a sense of, I think of how universities work. But I also think I brought an appreciation for the role of faculty and how critical they are in the development of young people, and how critical they are in the research they do, and their, how valuable their teaching is. And I think the tough thing coming in from the outside is being accepted, at all by faculty, but also understanding how universities work, how they share governance, the role of the important role that faculty play in universities. And I think if somebody is open to learning and open to listening, and developing a deep understanding of how universities ought to work, their background doesn't prohibit them from being successful. I like the 2 of you reached out to Lee immediately, urged him if I could help in any way to let me know, because I think anybody who takes on the job of leading, whether it's an interim or permanent role of leading the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, has my support. I want them to succeed, as Margaret said. I think we all do because we want the university to succeed. So, I think the risk with Lee and the risk with anybody in today's world is, are they going to be allowed to run the institution? It may be that because of who selected him as interim, that he'll be allowed to do that. And if he is, then if he's open and to learning, and he's listening, and he's willing to share governance, and to put his heart and soul in the university, as I know he probably is, then there is a chance, a good chance, he could be successful because he's a smart guy and he brings a lot of expertise. I think the other thing to keep in mind is running an institution, whether it's one of higher education or any other kind of institution, there's a lot of skills that are needed to do it successfully. So sometimes people who come in from the outside bring a set of skills that people inside don't have. And the people inside have to learn those skills as they're developing into to good administrators. So I think people from different backgrounds can be successful, but I do think it requires them to be willing to learn and develop the skills they didn't have when they came in. But also it's a critical skill to listen to people and to be willing to be open to sharing how decisions are made.